Everybody, welcome back to the channel. It is me, the Layman Apologist, and I am back with another Faith in 5, the show where I take a core Christian truth or doctrine and try to explain it in 5 minutes or less. Now today we're looking at singleness, marriage, and finding a way to be content either way. Life rarely lines up the way we expect it to. Some people step into marriage very young and spend decades figuring it out what it actually means to share every part of their life with another person. That includes the good days, the days where they are grinding, working to make a living, the moments where they see each other at their absolute worst. Others walk through long seasons of singleness, whether they choose it or whether life just unfolded that way for them. Now that path can feel burdensome for some people. Both situations have a weight to them. Both can leave you wondering at times if God somehow passed over you or if you're stuck in the wrong chapter of your life. I've watched friends in both places wrestle with this. The married ones who talk about the pressure of trying to keep a home together while they're being pulled in 10 different directions. Or my single friends who speak about the ache of showing up to yet another gathering where it feels like everyone has found their person and it makes them feel like they're just not enough. But somewhere in the middle of all of that, a question sits: is this really where I'm supposed to be? In 1 Corinthians chapter 7, Paul gives some of the most practical words recorded in the New Testament on this subject. He tells the unmarried and the widows that it is good for them to stay as they are. He even points out advantages that singleness can bring: a kind of undivided focus on the Lord, fewer worries about pleasing a spouse, more space to serve without the same constraints. But at the same time, he never treats marriage as second rate. He gives clear instructions for husbands and wives because he knows both realities are part of life in a broken world, and both can and should be lived to the glory of God. He doesn't set up some type of spiritual hierarchy where singleness wins points or marriage is the ultimate sign of blessing. Instead, he keeps circling back to the idea: live faithfully in whatever situation the Lord has placed you in right now. Don't spend all your energy constantly straining towards trying to enter into a different season of life. Paul's instruction feels especially sharp because our culture pushes such loud stories in both directions. Singleness gets framed as either total freedom or a waiting room that means the person is just missing something. Marriage gets sold as the ultimate goal, the arrival point where you know you've made it. But both pictures set people up for disappointment because they ask circumstances to carry weight they were never meant to carry. The deeper issue Paul keeps pressing towards is where we are actually rooted in our contentment. Jesus never promised that any relationship status would meet our deepest longings of our heart. Instead, he offers himself as the center. That doesn't mean that our desires disappear. Wanting companionship or a family is noble and a good goal, or being married and wanting to be in a different season of life where you're no longer struggling to pay bills or you want to be retired. Those things aren't wrong in and of themselves. But yet Paul says be content where you are. Learn to value Christ above it all. So for the person walking through singleness, this might look like you investing more deeply into your church family without holding back until, a spouse finally shows up. It might mean using time and energy for relationships and service that married people sometimes struggle to find any room for. It can mean learning to sit with your loneliness without it letting it define your worth. And for the person who is married, it might mean daily choosing sacrifice and forgiveness inside of that ordinary grind of marriage, instead of romanticizing what singleness might have offered or what a friend's marriage might look like. Because both of these paths, singleness and marriage, they both carry costs. Both can display something very real about Christ. Singleness is focused devotion. Marriage is covenant love that echoes the gospel. Whether married or single, the calling stays remarkably similar. Trust Christ with the actual life you have today. Walk in obedience with what's in front of you. Love the people around you. Serve people with the gifts and the time you've been given. And don't let comparison rob you of what God's ultimate goal for you is. Anyway folks, I hope this video has been helpful. Christ is King. I'll see you in the next one.